I said to the Lauren Spagnolia, "Who is that? What was that?" And then I didn't want to do the show. I just wanted to listen to you.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Oh, thanks, Christiane. Yeah, no.
So
I
me.
love to sing.
Okay, so continue.
Yeah, I think that I was holding myself back a lot. I think that I realized about a year and a half ago that I was telling my yoga students, go for your dreams, be yourself, love who you are. But I wasn't really taking that to heart as much as I felt I could be. And I think some of my students recognize that and are like, William, you should have a website. You should be like making albums and spreading this positive message to more people. And I was kind of like, you know what, you're right, but I'm kind of nervous. You know?
Anyone else out there kind of nervous to put themselves out there? Because I have to tell you, astrologically, now is the time. And let me just say something as a doctor to all of you. The dreams that you do not live out loud and on purpose will often come to you as illness. So please, please, please be on purpose and conscious about your dreams. Be honest with yourself, because otherwise that which we cannot know consciously will come through our bodies. And what Will does is a conscious body practice, the ancient practice of yoga, which is so preventive as well. But I know you've probably seen people in your yoga classes have emotional breakdowns as they get into different poses that open their hearts and so on.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I'm so grateful that I get to be a yoga teacher. And you know, whenever I feel like a little overwhelmed or stressed out, I just go, you know what? I got everything I wanted this past year. I got a record deal. I get to dance and sing and play dress up for a living. It's great. And it is amazing. Like I remember a few months ago, I was teaching a class, and it was kind of emotional. I just had this impulse to ask the class, "Why are you guys here?" And this woman put up her hand in the back row, and she said, "My son died last week. He was on a motorcycle and hit by a car." And she burst out in tears, and I started crying, and almost the whole class was crying. And it was a really vulnerable moment. And then we went right into dancer's pose, which is where I usually play songs like Defying Gravity. And it was powerful. Like, it was just this big moment of like 70 people in a hot room connecting. And I felt like we all got closer, and like all the walls went down. It was just a real vulnerable moment where we were all just being ourselves and connecting.
And where your hearts were all in coherence.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah. So with that, how about we play your song Pull Through, shall we?
Awesome.
I love it. Okay, so Kyle, if you can cue that up. This is Will singing Pull Through.
You breathe life in me. You give me strength to pull through.
That is still medicine for me. And I know all of you listeners felt that. We just ended a 12-year Jupiter cycle. It began in February of 1999. I'd like you all to think back on what that was for you. For me, it was the first time I was on Oprah, and my marriage ended the next day. And the last 12 years has been about reinventing myself on all levels, from what was one of the most major heartbreaks and foundation shakers of my entire life. And the cycle ended on a very high note, but there was a little moment, the last day of that cycle, which was the 21st of January, that was a little stinging reminder. Oh, yeah, okay, that was the old story. This is a new story, and you can see how this music... Now, Will, can you tell us what that chant means?
Well, it's an ancient mantra from the Vedas, and all the chants that I chose on my album are ones that are designed, they're sort of sound vibrations that are designed to elevate you out of fear, insecurity, and shame into a place of love. It's the whole idea is these mantras, you don't have to know the exact meaning. You just listen to them and chant them, and they elevate your vibration onto the vibration of love and bliss.
Well, they sure work for me.
Yay.
You know the Bible phrase, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. our bodies are vibration. It's interesting to me when you talked about that tremoring in yoga. What yoga gets into is the fascia, the fascial planes in the body.
Yeah.
You see that tremoring when someone has just given birth. There's total body shakes because the fascia and the bones and everything has been stretched into a new vibration. And the fascia is a crystalline matrix where when you do a yoga pose until you are shaking like that, you're literally sending a new message throughout the entire body almost instantaneously.
Yeah, and it's not painful. It's just this experience. Like, I don't want listeners to think, oh my gosh, you're extending the point where you're hurting yourself. It's definitely not that. It's just that point where your body just starts to shake on its own.
Well, tell me, how do you deal with there's something that you said about painful. My experience in life is that there's no growth without some kind of discomfort. And that included, for me, going to my first Argentine tango lesson.